Right. Welcome to another episode of Good Morning Arizona. Hope everybody out there has their coffee ready. I got a big coffee this morning. Big coffee this morning. A little bit tired this morning, but man, the weather outside is absolutely beautiful. 55 degrees it was at 7:30 this morning. You really can't beat that. That's why we live in the great state of Arizona, folks. But those summer temperatures are creeping up. They're just around the corner. We do know. I did notice that in the 7-day forecast. I think I think for the next 7 days we're in the low to mid 90s here in the valley. So that should be interesting. Just a little local news before we start talking about some of these great spots to go visit this weekend or during the week, or if you're on vacation here in the great state of Arizona. We're going to go through 3 or 4 awesome locations this morning. That's what this program is all about, is to wake up, get yourself a nice big cup of coffee, put it in your favorite mug, and just sit back, relax. And you can interact on the chat if you're on Facebook or YouTube right now. And I'll try to answer your questions as the program goes. But we're just going to talk about some great local and statewide attractions that you need to get out and check out if you haven't already. But last night, a pretty cool thing happened in the Valley. The Arizona Diamondbacks and the Cleveland Indians played a game, their last preseason game at Chase Field, and there were fans in the crowd. First time in over a year that Chase Field has seen fans in the stadium. What a great sight it was to check out on TV. Probably great to be there live, but looked like 5 or 6, maybe a little bit more, 5 or 6, maybe 7,000 people in the stands. I do believe they upped the number for the opening day to 20,000 fans that they can have in the stadium. So really cool. The Diamondbacks did come back and beat the Cleveland Indians last night 3-2. I shouldn't say last night. It was a 12:40 start. So roof was open. Beautiful March day. We're at the last day of March now. So but the weather doesn't tell us that. 89 degrees today. So really cool. Tonight the Arizona Coyotes take on the Colorado Avalanche. That should be an interesting game. So hope the Coyotes can pull that one out. I think that's on at 6:30, 7 o'clock. I think it's 7 o'clock. So hopefully the Coyotes can pull out that victory. So just going to hang out here, chat a little bit, wait for some people to pop on. I really do this opening little monologue for those who come to watch it later. I know it's early in the morning. Most people are out and about doing their errands at work. They can't watch this live. So I will keep it up for a couple days on the Arizona Time with Tours YouTube and Facebook pages. Let's go over here to the chat and see if we got anybody in here. We got Matthew David says, "Good morning, sir. Good morning to you." All right. Well, I guess without further ado, we should check out what the first site we're going to talk about this morning is. And I was going to talk about this 2 days ago when I went live. I couldn't go live yesterday. I apologize for that. But let's bring it up here. Let's get to the graphics section of this thing. And this place is located about 20 miles south of Tucson, Arizona. All right, 20 miles south on the Interstate 19, the only interstate still set up on the metric system. I remember 2 or 3 years ago when I was driving on that road, and I went from the 10 to the 19, and I was looking at how much farther to the next exit, and it was set up on a metric system. I was like, yeah, I'm not really good at that. So that's an interesting road right there. The only road still in the United States set up on that system. But 20 miles south of the beautiful Tucson, Arizona, you're going to find this place right here, folks. The Titan Missile Museum. A lot of people I know have heard about this location. A lot of people that I've talked to have said, hey, I've heard about the Titan Missile Museum. Not sure where it's at. Just haven't gotten the opportunity to get down there to visit this place. Folks, if you get a chance, to go down either by yourself with your family, or if you have kids, take your kids. It's an unbelievable learning experience. When I was there, the gentleman who was absolutely phenomenal, that gave the 40-minute tour of this museum. He talked to, I think there was like 7 of us in the first group that went down. And he was like, please, if you have a social media platform, if you're on any social media pages, please post, come to the Titan Missile Museum. He was like, he is amazed at some of the questions he gets there. A lot of people who especially are in their 40s don't know much about the Titan missile, don't know much about the Cold War. And I remember him saying to me, what are they teaching in schools today? And I'm like, yeah, they're definitely not teaching about the Cold War. But this is, I believe, one of 54 Titan missile museums that were on alert all across the United States from around 1963 to 1987 when they finally closed them down. This is the only Titan missile museum remaining that looks exactly like it did when it shut down. So when it was operational, it looked like this. There is no other museum, there is no other Titan missile museum in the United States that looks like this. And it's like stepping back in time when you go there. But when you first get there, let me bring this off real quick here. When you first get there, they give you a little movie presentation. It's like 8 minutes. When you're done with the movie presentation, you head down and you grab these helmets. And now a lot of people don't like to put helmets on their, they got their hair just right for the day or something. But it's mandatory you put these helmets on. And I'm going to tell you what, if you're 6 feet or taller, this helmet's going to save you a couple of times during your trip down to the missile silo. Because I think I hit my head at least 2 times. And if I didn't have that helmet on, I don't know, I might have knocked myself out, or I would have had a huge bump right here on the top of my head. So you want to put one of those helmets down on. Then you descend about 30 some odd feet down to the museum, or down to the missile silo. You'll go down like 7 to 8 flights of stairs. And the gentleman that was doing the tour did absolutely a phenomenal job of explaining everything to everybody. But when we got down to the control center, that's where most of the briefing takes place for like the next 15 minutes. He explains the whole procedure of launching one of these unbelievable weapons. Now, this was a weapon of deterrence. It was strength through deterrence, as you find out as you're listening to the briefing. And one of the things that stuck with me is he's like, do you know how much power was in one of these Titan II missiles? Just one. And he explained it like this. He's like, if you had a train, and right here at this museum was the engine, and then you started adding cars, and then each one of these cars you filled from top to bottom with TNT, all right? That would stretch from Tucson up through Canada. It'd be over 1,200 miles long. This train would be full of TNT to kind of show you what kind of power was in one of these Titan II missiles. It was unbelievable. Great thing. But what they have in there is they actually have a Titan II missile sitting in the silo. And no, it does not have the nuclear warhead on top. That's a question I get all the time when I speak on this. No, it does not. But what's cool is you go down the hall and you look at this Titan II, how huge it is, but you're in the middle. So you can look down and then you can look up. And then when you leave, when the tour is over, there's a little platform that you can look over the top of this Titan II. Now, it was like 98 degrees when I was out there. So after the tour, most people left. But I stayed. And I filmed and did everything I had to do for my YouTube channel at the time. And I went to the top of the platform, and, the sun is just shining off this glass, so you really can't see inside. So I put my phone, a regular cell phone, on top of the glass, and I took this shot. And this is how it came out, and I couldn't believe it when I got back in the car and looked at the shot. But this is what it looks like. Check that out. Cell phone did a great job right there. That's what that Titan II looks like from the platform when you're looking down on it. So I would just recommend sticking your if you got like one of those beautiful DSLR cameras, it's going to be difficult to get this shot. But if you can lay your camera on that glass for a few seconds and take that shot, this is probably what the shot that you're going to get. I love this shot. One of my favorite shots of any place that I've ever been. This Titan II missile is absolutely phenomenal, unbelievable. Check this place out, folks. Again, about 20 miles south of Tucson on Interstate 19. There's a lot of other great stuff along Interstate 19 that we'll talk about on another episode of Good Morning Arizona. But yeah, this place really, really, I have never been disappointed with any museum that I've been to in the state of Arizona. Not one. Been to probably about 22 or 23 different places, different museums in the state, and each one is just unbelievable. I don't care if it only has 2 or 3 rooms like the Mesa Historical Society down in Lehigh. That place was great. I stayed in there for an hour and a half and it only had 3 rooms to go and check out. So check out the Titan II Missile Museum. You won't be disappointed. Take the kids. It's a great learning experience. It really is. Let me bring this off of here real quick. Great place, folks. Check it out. We got a few more people on here. Let's see if anybody else hit the chat. I wasn't live on the chat here. We got Angel Eyes. Is that? Says, good morning. I appreciate that. And then we also had Matthew David say, good morning, sir. I appreciate everybody out here. Everyone who supports the Arizona Timeless Tours across all the platforms. I'm going to throw a commercial in right here because we just launched a podcast a few months ago. We put episode number 24 out about 5 days ago. You can find it at the Arizona Timeless Tours on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, Pocket Cast, all the podcasting platforms that you can think of. The Arizona Timeless Tours podcast is on there. Check it out if you get an opportunity. What I do with that podcast, I believe it's a little different than most podcasts. No script to it, no editing done to it. And I just talk about the adventures I take to some of these outstanding locations in the last 4 years in Arizona. And one of them that's got the most views on it is the bucket list site that I have on there. And that's out the Sears Point Petroglyph site. That place is no better petroglyph wall in the state of Arizona, I believe. If somebody knows of one that's better than what you see there or on my YouTube video or TikTok video I have on Sears Point, please tell me, and I'll get you on the podcast because I don't believe that there's anything better than Sears Point. So anyhow, let's roll back through here. Where can you find me? It's right there, Arizona Timeless Tours, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. You can also find me on the new social media page of MeWe, M-E-W-E. I spend a lot of time, folks, uploading stuff to MeWe. So if you get a chance, check out the app, M-E-W-E. Follow me. It'd be greatly, greatly appreciated. All right, let's go on to our next site here. Our next site. Where are we going next? You know what? Let's all just take a nice swig of our coffee this morning. Big cup of coffee here. Big cup of coffee. Tired this morning for some reason. Going back to the Diamondbacks win over the Cleveland Indians in the last spring training game at Chase Field. If you missed it yesterday, won 3-2. 12:40 start. The roof was open. 7,000 to 8,000 fans in attendance. Wow, they haven't seen that in over a year. Looks like 20,000 people are going to be at the opening day at Chase Field on April 9th. That looks like it's going to be a good time. I believe they're going to have more tickets go on sale this Friday. So if you didn't get a chance to get tickets to the opener of the Arizona Diamondbacks season on April the 9th, I believe tomorrow, because what's today? No, today's Wednesday. I think on Friday they go on sale. You might want to check it out on their web page out there. All right, let's go check out what's next here. Bring up these graphics. All right, another museum, folks, but top two museum in Arizona, I would say, is this museum that I'm going to put up here in just a second. I've been there a couple of times. I went there the first time not expecting much. I really wasn't expecting much, and I was blown away. I was absolutely blown away. So here it is. And I think most of you have either heard about this museum, it's down there around Papago Park, or been to it. But if you haven't had the opportunity, go check it out. Here it is, folks, without further ado. It's the Hall of Flame Fire Museum in Papago Park. Folks, this is one of the largest fire museums in the United States. This place has over, I believe, 10,000 pieces of equipment, of fire equipment. The amount of fire engines that they have, and the old, early turn of the century, the old 19th century ones. And they have, I think the oldest one they have is somewhere around 1740 from England. One of those, hand pumps that didn't go very far, but they have it in there. They have so many great pieces of fire history in this museum. I was in there for at least 2 hours. I spent an hour and a half filming, and then I went back around for another 30 minutes to see everything that I had missed the first time around. The place is phenomenal. I believe, let's see, one room, 2, 3, 4. I believe it's 4 rooms filled with unbelievable fire equipment. If you have kids that love fire trucks, man, it's going to be hard to get them out of there. But the place is unbelievable. And I'm going to tell you this. I've been there numerous times, and I've been early in the morning, late afternoon, different times of days, different times of weeks. And I'm one of maybe 5 people in 2 hours that are in the museum at the time. I'm finding that throughout all of the museums in Arizona. I've never been in a crowded museum. I don't care if it's a Saturday or if it's a Monday. It seems as though the museums need to be talked up in the valley. So these places don't need to close down. They are absolutely phenomenal. Please get out there and support the local museums in the valley here and throughout the state of Arizona. I don't believe you'll be disappointed at any of these museums. Let's check out another picture. Here's one of the older. Look at these. Now, most of these kind were used for parades. When the local town had a parade, this is what they would be marching and parading through the town to show off their fire department. But get out and check out the Hall of Flame Fire Museum. Beautiful gift shop, helpful people. And I had one of the guys show me around for like 20 minutes talking really in depth about these things because nobody else was in there. So I got like a private tour in my first 20 minutes. Get down, check out the Hall of Flame Fire Museum, one of the largest fire museums in the United States. Over 10,000 pieces in there. You're not going to be disappointed, folks. You will not be disappointed. And it's not going to be crowded. So you're going to have time to check all this stuff out without anybody on top of you there. So the Hall of Flame Fire Museum. All right, here. Man, I'll tell you my allergies. The other day I looked out my backyard and there was no green leaves or anything on the trees. We got like 8 of them out in the backyard. And then all of a sudden, like overnight, there's these, it's green. It's got these, the leaves are all over it. And I'm like, well, no wonder my allergies have been kicking. But it's just crazy how quick it comes. And then all year here in the state of Arizona, something is blooming in the desert. People have a misconception of what the desert is like until they actually move to the beautiful state of Arizona. And then they find out all year long, you got things blooming in the desert. So, and I said this last week, I wish that the Apache Trail was still open. The Apache Trail, top 1 or 2 in the United States scenic drives. And for 2 years, that road's been closed because of rainfall and slides that happened to some of the major roads in there. And they closed it down. They haven't opened it yet. But this is the time of year to take a drive through the Apache Trail. Everything is in bloom. Wildflowers. It's an absolutely beautiful drive. And I'm not one of those that likes the flowers and all this stuff. I love the Apache Trail for what it is. You can get out and hike through it a little bit, go down to Canyon Lake, Apache Lake, go out there to Roosevelt Lake, look around. But I've given many tours on the Apache Trail. And nobody has been disappointed on that tour. Nobody. Please, Arizona, please get down there and open the Apache Trail back up. Especially this time of year, we got to get out there and check it out. All right. Next location, folks. I would like to know, I'm going to probably ramble on because I want to know in the comments if you know where this next location. I'm going to put the picture up. I'll wait about a minute or two, see if anybody knows what this is. Well, you're going to know what it is, but where it's located and what is the history behind it. And here it is, folks. Bang. What's the history behind that bell, folks? And where is it located? I'm going to leave it up there for a little bit as I go and rumble through the chat here. What does that say? Infamous? Going to Globe this weekend. Anything to see while there? Ho. Sir, there is plenty to see in the town of Globe, Arizona. Yeah, we will talk about that in a second. If everyone wants to hang around after I check out these unbelievable sites that I'm putting up here, we'll talk a little bit about Globe and what you can go out there to see. All right, I'm gonna go 10 seconds. We're gonna make a countdown. Angel Eyes says no clue, just moved here. All right, Angel Eyes, this is a spot that you might want to go check out. The historical significance of this bell up in this tower. Great pizza at a new restaurant in downtown Globe. Nice, says Betsy Watson. And Famous says, is that on South Mountain? Very far from South Mountain. That's probably about, 125 miles south of South Mountain, which you're looking at right here. All right, I'm going to give it to you, folks. Here it is. This bell is located on the University of Arizona campus. Yeah, now let's not get it messed up with, for the new people, it's not Arizona State University. It's the University of Arizona campus in the beautiful Tucson, Arizona, right across from the awesome historic the Arizona History Museum down there. This bell was one of the 2 bells that was salvaged from the USS Arizona after it sank, folks, in December 7, 1941. This bell is an unbelievable piece of Arizona history right here. An unbelievable piece of U.S. history. And it is located within the student campus area. So if you go to the student side, now I went and I walked after I went to the Arizona History Museum a couple of months ago, and that campus is huge. The trees are beautiful. The campus is beautiful. U of A has done a beautiful job of upkeeping that campus. Beautiful college campus there. And so I'm asking all these people as I'm walking through trying to find this bell. I finally get to the student section. They're having a ceremony, a swearing in ceremony of some new U.S. Marines, which was awesome. So I was being very quiet and respectful as I'm looking around. Finally had to ask a Marine where this bell is located. I turned around. He showed me up in the bell tower. There is this bell. Now, you actually have to know what you're looking for to find the bell. I think they should have put this bell in a different location, or at least made this bell tower, the opening of the bell tower, because that's on a telephoto lens to get the shot. They should have made it much bigger. So when you're walking down that student campus area, which is absolutely beautiful, you're looking right at this historic bell. Now, they used to ring this bell on special occasions at U of A, but they stopped that because the bell was getting so old that they wanted to make sure that it didn't crack. So they stopped ringing it, but they used to ring it on special occasions. But that bell is one of 2 that is left from the USS Arizona. Really an unbelievable piece of history. Read about it. It took me about 3 years to get down to U of A to find it. Finally found it after about 50 minutes of walking that campus, that huge, beautiful campus there. But if you're down there, stop there and check that thing out. It's absolutely awesome. Let me go ahead and take that off of there. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Let's change up some of this. Let's go to the chat here. Bang that one there. Somebody says we got a great pizza. Great pizza at a new restaurant downtown Globe. I've never eaten in Globe. Been invited through my social media pages. People are like, if you're ever in Globe, please stop by and tell them so-and-so sent you. And I'll be there. I would love to meet you. And I've never had the opportunity to stop at a restaurant in Globe, but one day maybe we'll do a meet and greet in Globe for those who watch all my social media pages and have a chat and learn some new history of Globe. I love Globe, folks. I've been there, man. In the last year, I've probably been there 6 times. It's only 77 miles from the house. That's one reason. It's a real easy drive on the 60 East to get to Globe. And then I head down to Roosevelt Lake and I check out the ruins and I check out the bridge. And that's the side that, if you start the Apache Trail on the Apache Junction side and drive that 40 miles, you end up on the 188 down there by the Tano National Monument. And then you just go up to 188 to Globe and head back 60 East if you don't want to turn back and go through the Apache Trail again. Love Globe. Really do. Great spot. All right. Let's see where we're going to next. We don't want to keep this too long. I know a lot of people don't have a bunch of time to sit down and watch a rerun of this, but I just want to, again, the point of this new show, Good Morning Arizona, here with Arizona Time with Stewards, is give you 3 locations and tell you about 3 places. And maybe this weekend you can head out and go check them out. A lot of people don't have time to do the research that I've done on some of these spots. So it's really why I do it. All right, let's go to the graphics. And can anybody tell me where this is at? This is relatively new. It has something to do with the last picture I just showed you. I didn't even think about that when I was pulling these things up. But I'm going to give you a shot of the inside, and you tell me where this is located. There it is right there. Kind of a rough shot because I'm actually inside, but that structure is actually inside the glass structure of this memorial. Does anybody know where that's at? If I could sing or play music without getting a copyright strike or something, I would sing some music or have the Jeopardy music on or something while I showed you these pictures. Does anybody know? Let's go down here. Kim Johnson, hello. What do we got here? What are we looking at, folks? What are we looking at? 10 more seconds and I'll reveal this spot. And I guarantee most of you have been in Famous as it looks like Prescott. Well, in Famous, I will say that this is probably 150 miles south of Prescott. Let's see what we got going on here. What do we think? What do we think this is? I'm going to bring up another picture here of this location. Right here. Look at that. I don't know if you'll be able to read the plaque off of the picture. This, folks, is the USS Arizona Memorial in Salt River Fields, and on the Native American reservation there. If you've ever been to a spring training game, and the issue with this spot is it had a grand opening March of 2020. Well, what happened in March of 2020? The world turned upside down, right? And we couldn't, we were told we couldn't do anything as of March 2020. So I was out there and was very lucky that day. Did not know that this memorial was being put in. It was put in within less than a year. And it was opening day out there, and they had free hats and free shirts for this memorial with free food. And I got to tour this. What this looks like, folks, if you get a chance to do Google or whatever your internet search engine is, look up the USS Arizona Memorial at Salt River Fields. It's right in front of the gate, the parking lot gate, where you would check in to go see the Arizona Diamondbacks or the Colorado Rockies play their spring training baseball game. It's right in that parking lot, folks. Right as you enter there, you'll see it. But it was open in March of 2020. Then we went through what we're going through now. The inside area is closed, and it's been closed for like a year. But you don't need to go inside. You can see it right through the glass. But if you look at this from an aerial shot, it is the exact outline of the USS Arizona, the exact dimensions. And there's these posts. You can see the posts out in the water. They made this a man-made lake. And those posts out there, they light up at night. So you can see it at night from the air. I know it's a little difficult to see from the ground. But each one of these posts represents the people who are aboard the USS Arizona. And depending on the height or the height of the post, is either they perished that day or they were survivors. And the whole story of the Arizona is on there as you walk around. The lights, again, light up at nighttime. They have them going out into the water and on the ground. And they even have like an Elvis Presley little area there because Elvis did a fundraiser for the USS Arizona Memorial back in the days. But inside of that area, this is the front. This is the front section right here when you walk in. And there's the address. And that's what you're looking at when you park, right on top of Salt River Fields complex is this beautiful, beautiful memorial. And let's go back to the inside of the memorial right there. That was the old boathouse. And unfortunately, I apologize. I didn't do a good job taking this picture. All you see the people's reflection in the glass. But in there is the original boathouse structure. What was the boathouse? Well, before the Arizona Memorial you see today, back in the 50s, this was what was under the water. This was what had a flag sticking out. The United States flag was sticking out above it. So if you go and you look at an older version of the memorial from the 1950s, this was the main structure that was there that the flag was sitting on. And when they removed this, it was in Hawaii, and the request was made by the reservation for this piece to make this memorial, and they gave it to them. What an unbelievable piece of history sitting inside of that glass, folks. And the history is around it. They got other things. Again, if you can't get into it and you get out there, you can walk around the grounds. They're always opened. You can check out the awesome signs and the stories of how they got this and how they brought it and what this memorial was made to look like, because it's difficult to see from the ground level. But what a great memorial right outside of Salt River Fields, folks. Most people don't know it. And it's been there, in March? So it's been there now for a solid year. And I know that when I launched it on TikTok, it got 100, 200,000 views on it. People are like, where is this at? I live right out by Salt River Fields. Never heard of this. So that's why I do this, to get the information out. Go check it out. You can go out there and check it out today if you wanted to. Awesome spot, though. Great memorial. Great job by the community there to put that up and to get that unbelievable piece. It really is awesome. When I drove by there numerous times, you saw the construction back in like November, December of 2019, but nobody knew what was going up back there. I'm like, are they redoing the parking lot area? No, they weren't redoing the parking lot area. They were putting this unbelievable memorial up. Great spot. Check that out. That is all of the pictures that I have to share. And I'm at 33 minutes, so perfect timing. But really quick before I go, let's take a sip of coffee this morning. And let's go ahead and change a little bit of some of these captions here, right? Let's bring it up because it is this episode is called the Good Morning Arizona Show. I'm going to try. I'm going to try to do this every morning, folks. 3 new spots every morning. But on the days that work gets in the way, life gets in the way like it did yesterday, that won't be possible. But I'm going to do my best around 8:30 in the morning to come on here and put as many of these shows as I possibly can out here. So, where are we? We're on Tuesday. We're at the last day of March, and we're going to be 89 degrees today. And you can, these are very short, except the one down in Tucson, unless you're watching this down in Tucson. These are pretty short if you live in the valley. Papago Park for the Hall of Flame Fire Museum and the beautiful USS Arizona Memorial out there at Salt River Fields. These are just quick trips, really quick trips. So you don't have to wait till the weekend to go check them out. Time for a little coffee. Remember, those Diamondbacks beat those Cleveland Indians yesterday for that last exhibition game at Chase Field with the fans out there. Looked good, sounded good. It was great to see. 3-2, Diamondbacks over the Tribe. All right, let's talk really quick about Globe. We had the questions here. Make sure we could hit that chat and see if anybody said anything else. Enjoy your TikTok page, by the way. Thank you so much. Just a brief thing on the TikTok. It is located every one of my social media platforms, folks. I do it as easy as I possibly can. I'm on like 8 of them. Arizona Timeless Tourist. If you Googled Arizona Timeless Tourist, they'll all pop up. So from the podcast to the Facebook to the YouTube to the MeWe to the LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn. You want to hire me for a 40-minute one-on-one consultation, a 20-minute one-on-one consultation. You want to hire me for tours. You can do it on LinkedIn, or you can do it on my email address that you can find on my TikTok account there, or leave a message on my YouTube channel. We can do tours. Tours went down a little bit because of what we've been going through the last year, but they're starting to pop back up. But also my real job is starting to get into full swing. So unfortunately, the 6 months that I had free to do the tours, everybody was staying at home. We got going on here. New person was coming in was Kim Johnson. It's good to see everybody. Appreciate everybody. All right, Globe. I'm going to give a little brief thing on Globe, and then tomorrow, if you tune in tomorrow for Good Morning Arizona with the Arizona Timeless Tours, we'll talk. I will dedicate one of these segments to a spot in Globe. The Globe Cemetery, if you want to know the history of Globe, look up the Globe Cemetery and go check it out. It is old. It is small. It is a one-lane road in and out. So you're hoping that some other car is not coming down when you're going in. So the best time to get up there is early in the morning. But pull your car off in a safe spot that you can find. And what they've done in that cemetery is they have placed these signs on some of these graves that people are coming to check out. One of the graves being the great Indian scout during the Apache Wars is Al Sieber. I've done a TikTok on him. I've done a long YouTube video on him if you want to check it out before you go up there. But they'll give you a little bit of information on Al Sieber, and it's on a white sign. You can't miss the signs because the graveyard is full. There's no more spots. And when you're going through, you'll be like, there's a white sign. There's a white sign. And it'll give the history of these. Another Sheriff Glenn Reynolds is in there. He was the one that was killed by the Apache Kid when he was being transported to the Yuma Territorial Prison back in, I want to say, 1889. It's just off the top of my head. He's buried there next to an infant that died before they were 1 year old. He's buried in there. Finn Clanton, the brother of Billy Clanton and Ike Clanton of the famed OK Corral shooting, is buried in there, but he doesn't have a sign on his grave. You actually have to do some investigating. I've done a TikTok on that if you want to know where it's at. Pete Spence of the notorious cowboy gang down in Tombstone that was at odds with the Earp brothers and with the law in Tombstone back in the day. He's buried right next to Finn Clanton. They were both friends. They went into business together. Actually, when Finn passed away, Pete Spence married Finn's wife. That's interesting. Lot of unbelievable graves and history out at the Globe Cemetery. In Claypool, Arizona, so just before you get in the Globe, is another cemetery, the Pinal Cemetery. And that's another one that has some extraordinary history in it. They don't have signs showing you where to go or who these people are, so you have to do the history on it. So tomorrow, if you come on between 8 and 8:30, we will talk about the Pinal Cemetery and two of the very famous historic figures that are buried in there and how to get to that location. We'll talk about that also. But Globe, just an unbelievable part of Arizona history up there that most people somehow don't visit, they don't check out. When you say Globe to some people here in the valley, it's like you're going to Florida or Texas or somewhere. It's like that far of a drive. And I'm like, it's about 70 miles, depending on where you are at in the valley. From the Gilbert area, it's like 72 miles on 60 East. Very easy drive. They repaved that whole area. It looks great. But Globe, great spot. Let's see what we got going on here. Captioned in there. Let's pop that on there. All right, folks, I'm gonna stop this. Again, thanks to everyone who supports the Arizona Timeless Tours across all the platform pages. Please check out that podcast. We got over 1,500 listens on 24 podcasts. It's greatly appreciated. Leave a rating on whatever podcast you follow me on. That would be greatly appreciated. Again, right down there at the bottom, that's where you can find me. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and the podcasting platforms are my major platforms. Leave me a message if you want to know anything about the tours, speaking engagements. Since they're now opening back up, we're starting to fill up with groups of 10 or more on speaking engagements. I go 45, 50 minutes. We can do nonstop or we can do question and answer. But I've been to over 180 locations in the last 4 years. And I try to stay away from the tourist attractions. So most people haven't heard of most of the spots that I've been to. So anybody else with any questions, I'll stay on to answer a couple of those. If not, I appreciate everybody. Next one tomorrow, I'm going to try to put some videos together that you can, like short 15, 20-second videos on some of these places. Give you a break from looking at my face while we're doing this. That's why I put the pictures up. Let's go over here to the chat. Make sure nobody else. I recommend the old Pinal Jail and Courthouse. Also, yes, check them out. Check them out up in Globe. Globe has the old jail up there that people like to go to and tell, scary stories about or whatever. When I was up there probably over a month ago, doing something on the hanging tree, because it's got a connection with the Globe Cemetery. And then what most people miss, the historical marker of the hanging tree in Globe. And it's there. Actually, I had to get out of my car and go up in downtown, the historic Globe area, asking people who have lived there. They're like, man, that used to be here. It used to be there. There's so many stories about the hanging tree. And I found it, and it's right on that street, and people walk by it all the time. But love that Globe. The jail is there. The courthouse is there. It's attached to the jail. Got that little catwalk across there that they put there to transport the prisoners. All right. Again, I hate to leave because we do have a few people on here. Jerome is cool. Yes, it is. And, when people talk, you won't see a YouTube or any social media thing that I do on Jerome. And it's not because I don't like it there or think it's a great place to visit or people should go and check it out. It's very touristy and most people know about it. So I kind of stay away from those spots. Maybe I'll do again another one for tomorrow is the alternate spot to go to if you're getting off at exit 298 going to Sedona. If you don't take the 89A and take that scenic route up to Sedona off of the 17 going north from the Phoenix area, you can get off at 298 and take a right. And there are spectacular. I'm talking two spectacular spots. One is a historic landmark that they have people out at 24/7 to preserve it, take care of it, and tell you about it. You pay $5 with a Red Rock parking pass, and you walk a mile back to it, and it's extraordinary. And from that location, I learned about Sacred Mountain, where the people who did what they did in this location lived. And me and my buddy found Sacred Mountain, and I did 2 TikToks on Sacred Mountain. The TikToks are me talking to you on how to get to Sacred Mountain. First one, 500,000 views. The next one, I want to say, just eclipsed 500,000 views. So what are we talking? 1 million views on 2 TikToks on Sacred Mountain because most people don't know where it's at. Remnants of a 30 to 40 room pueblo up there. We will talk about that maybe tomorrow. A lot of stuff I could talk about tomorrow, but I don't want to go more than 2 to 3 locations so we can keep the Good Morning Arizona show with the Arizona Timeless Tours going for a long time. People can tune in, know between 8 and 8:30 that at some point Dean's going to jump on here, or Dean's going to have. I can't put a time slot of a certain time because of my job, my family, what we do on a daily basis. It's hard to say 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time every morning, Monday through Friday, because if I don't do it, that's very disappointing. So just check me out in the mornings, see if I'm live. I hate to say it like that, but that's the only way that I can do it. There's no possible way I can come on at 8 on the dot every morning. It's not possible. That beautiful Lori Bodemer down there saying good morning. She requires coffee this morning. That's her way to say that this episode of the Arizona Timeless Tours Live has ended officially, folks, because of my wonderful wife, who is actually a wonderful wife. Until next time, folks, take care. I appreciate everybody who's jumped on.